Hello dear friends of the folded sheet, I'm Tavin from Tavin's Origami Instructions, and today we'll fold this cute little sloth by Anita Boubour. It is an intermediate model. We use a square sheet of paper of 15 centimeters, or maybe you use a little more, and we start by doing a preliminary base, that's a mouthful, by folding in half both ways. This base is also sometimes called the push together square. So as I said, in both directions we fold in half. I have dual color paper, which in this model makes no difference, only that it's easier to see what I'm doing, and it will be a brown sloth. So we fold the halves so that the brown side is outside, then we fold the diagonals. I'm sorry if the folding seems a little odd right now. I have a different setup than usual and need to reach below the camera stand, the tripod. And so we fold both diagonals. Most of you probably already know how to do a preliminary base, but it's just part of what we need to do. So then fold with the white side inside again in half, and then push together both layers like this. And then we have two flaps on the left and two flaps on the right, and the open side right now is the top. Okay, what we need to do is, with the left side being closed, fold in half like this. The angle bisector, the tip is closed here, and then we make a squash fold. That means we separate those two layers here. Don't get confused, I will show it again more slowly and 3 more times. So we separate the layers and squash on top and make it lie flat with the center lines aligned. So here this is what's happening. We push from the top and reverse one of the folds. Let's do this one more time. So we fold at an angle here so that the edge and the crease in the center align. Then we make a sharp, nice crease. We separate those two layers, bring them apart from each other, and push on top and flatten the whole thing. We'll do that 2 more times now. I'll fold the whole thing in half so it doesn't open up again and get in the way. And we have 2 more flaps to go, so this is number 3. We fold the angle, align everything nicely, and fold, separate the layer, and push from top. That's all a squash fold is. You separate 2 layers and flatten it again. So let's bring that together, and one more time. So what we are now doing is called a frog base. It's one of the traditional bases. So let's bring those layers apart. And now after all those squashes, it looks like this. We have those white triangles below, now hidden inside. And now what we need to do is petal-folds. Similar to the bird base, maybe from the traditional crane, we do a petal-fold here. So we do an angle bisector again, so the short edge here is aligned with the big crease in the center. And then we pull up the layer inside. So we bring this out and pull up. Don't worry, I show a method to do it more easy than what I'm doing now. Just hang around and look at what I'm doing. So I'm closing the crease I just made again, and then I'm forming a triangle in the middle, crease that, and flatten the model like this. So instead of doing this all at once, like pushing here and on both sides, you can also first fold the whole thing in half. Let me clean this up quickly. So I fold the angle bisectors down below, and then I fold tip to tip in half, and with that crease it will be easier. So fold it exactly in half like this, push here to form the crease. There we go. And now open it up again, and now you have a hinge which you know where to exactly turn around the paper and bring it together, and we do this 2 more times. So let's look for the white triangles. There we are. Fold the angle bisector, and first, it really doesn't matter which order you do those creases. Fold in half, and then we do the angle bisector like this. If you're like a super expert, you can also not do the angle bisector and not fold it in half and all do it by hand and guide it by hand in one step, but I recommend maybe doing a little more pre-creases. And then we crease those top creases here. Bring the triangle up or down. There is no agreed upon state those triangles should be with a bird base, with a frog base. Let's do the last petal fold here. Creasing in half is done. And then the angle bisector. There we go. Bring it up top. And shape those last creases. Wonderful. Alrighty. Now that is our frog base, and again, the triangles are up or down or wherever. Just maybe make sure that you have 4 of them, then everything is correct. The next step is we bring them inside. We do a sink. So this is the frog base, and after the frog base, what we need to do is sink those triangles here inside, down. So what I do is I open it up and recrease the crease downwards and inside, and then close it again. Again, don't worry, I'm doing this again more slowly and with a easier method. So this is the triangle we need. We pinch the paper here and pull, and then it's almost creasing itself. We just need to reinforce it a bit, make sure that it folds back together nice and neat. So we are basically reversing all 3 creases of that small triangle. That's number 1. And inside, the other 2 creases get reversed automatically. Wonderful. So there is another one, and then I think 1 more if I counted correctly. There we go. Fold it inside. Make that fold neat. And that one. I didn't count correctly. We're already done. So now we have 4 of those legs here. 2 on the first layer. 2 on the second. Yeah, there we go. All nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful. So now we just fold the whole thing in half and make sure to not rip the paper right away. That will probably happen with the head anyway. So here's the 4, and now we do an outside reverse fold. We first make a pre-crease, and then like with socks or with the legs of pants that you turn over this 1 crease, and then you close it again and have it at a pretty flat angle. So those 2 creases here are belly folds, and then we close it again. Wonderful. Now we take the top layer and do it at a 90-degree angle, more or less. That is a matter of taste as far as it goes. And those will be the arms of our nice sloth. And you probably guessed it, the outside reverse folded tip will become the head. Then we do both arms. Then lift this up and squash fold it to the side. This is now the head. And then fold the tip inside as far as it goes so the face becomes more round. This is maybe a little too short, looks more monkey-like, but if you push it all the way in, basically fold it in half, that will be nice. Then the legs, align the edge with basically the shoulder here. Then turn around, do the same thing. Those are now the 4 extremities of our sloth. We do an sink here, an open sink. So first fold it in a little bit so the arms are a little less triangular and not so massive, and hide it inside. Fold, unfold, and if this is too difficult, just leave out the step. It is mere cosmetics, or you can just fold it behind and be done with it. Maybe use glue. Yes, I'm not that evangelical about it. You can use glue if you want. So now we push in here the corners, that would be the jawline of a monkey maybe, to make the face more round, more sloth-like. You really can just do that with the nail and just press it in, because it's a lot of layers. Now we're almost done. The sloth looks pretty sloth-like. What I'm now doing is another outside reverse fold here to form the arms, the hands of the sloth. I'm doing it only at the front. You can also do the back if you want with the legs, but I think this looks nicer. So they're about the same length. And then re-roll it up. Anita suggests that you make the paper wet and wrap it around a pencil and then let it dry in that rolled up state, and then the arms will hold very tight around whatever you put around it, but I'm not patient enough for that, so I've come up with another method. I hang it just by hooking one arm behind the other, and then you can put a pencil or whatever around it, and you're done with your sloth. But I think you probably want to also learn how to do this nice tree here. So the tree is basically a variation on the swan. You fold a kite shape twice, so fold the edge towards the center line you just made, and ignore the creases I did before. Here, look out that you leave a small gap for the paper, because you will fold the whole thing in half and it might not fit if you fold actually all the way towards the middle, just like here. So make sure to fold with a little gap, just like so. Then you have this needle, and then you do an outside reverse fold. About 2/3 in. It's really guesswork here and a matter of taste. So the long part will be the tree trunk, 90 degrees, that is important. Then do an outside reverse fold, and the short part will be the roots, basically. So, and then you have an outside reverse fold, 90 degrees, and then you just squash fold it, open it, flatten it. So that's the outside of the tree. And then you do another reverse fold at the top to shape the part where our sloth can hang, can chill and relax, like sloths like to do. That is something I envy about them. They're always very relaxed and slow, and still nature had a spot for them. And then you can hang your cute little slothy on your tree, and always remember to stay calm and relaxed, especially nowadays. I hope you had fun with this model. I hope you will comment, subscribe, and bye bye. See you next time.